All right, let's talk about something that might sound a little backwards. We're going to explore this wild idea that talking about your biggest goals might actually be the very thing that's killing them.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You get this amazing idea for a new project, maybe a fitness goal or a business you want to start. You're just buzzing with excitement, right? So you tell your friends, you tell your family, and then the next morning, nothing. Poof, the drive is just gone. Turns out, this happens all the time, and there's a powerful story that really explains why. Okay, let's dive into this with a story about a young guy named Simon. He lived in this little village, and man, he was just brimming with big, ambitious dreams. The problem was, Simon had this one habit that was kind of quietly crushing every single one of them. So one day, Simon decides he's going to open a shop. Now, before he's even laid a single brick or bought a single item to sell, he walks right into the cow market and makes this huge announcement. The villagers? Oh, they loved it. They clapped for him, they told him how great he was, and Simon, well, he felt like a king. He went to bed that night totally high on this feeling of success. But when he woke up, the actual motivation to do the hard stuff, the planning, the building, the real work, it had just completely evaporated. It's like the praise he got felt like he'd already crossed the finish line, so he never even started the race. That shop, it never happened. A little while later, a new dream sparks. This time, he's going to be a master potter. And what's the first thing he does? You guessed it. He gets everyone together and declares, "I'm going to make the most beautiful pots anyone has ever seen." And again, everyone cheered and told him how amazing his plan was. And just like that, history repeats itself. That awesome feeling he got from all the praise was enough. His brain felt like the job was done. He never even picked up a piece of clay. So there was Simon, with empty hands, feeling totally stuck, ashamed, and just confused. This frustrating pattern just kept on going. But this is where things start to change. One evening, Simon's feeling pretty defeated, and a quiet village elder comes up to him. This elder had been watching Simon, saw his struggle, and figured it was time to share a little bit of wisdom. Not with a lecture, but with a powerful, simple lesson. The elder starts off with this really simple, gentle question. Simon, of course, quickly says he tells everybody because he wants them to be proud of him. The elder just kind of smiles and tells Simon to meet him in his garden the next morning. He had something to show him. So the elder's lesson was incredibly simple. He holds up two seeds. The first one, he plants quietly in the soil, hidden away in the dark, and he waters it every day without saying a word. The second seed, he holds that one up for everyone to see, announcing it's going to grow into this magnificent tree, and then he just leaves it sitting on a rock in the sun. You can imagine what happened. The silent seed grew into a strong plant. The announced seed just dried up and blew away. Now, this little parable isn't just some charming folk tale. It actually nails a very real psychological thing that happens to us. It's not magic, it's all about how our brains are wired. And there's even a name for it. Psychologists sometimes call this social reality, but I like premature praise. See, when you announce your goal and people say, "Wow, great job," your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. That's the same reward chemical you'd get from actually doing the thing. Your brain basically gets confused and thinks talking about the work is the work. And this is the absolute key, summed up perfectly by the elder. You get all the satisfaction up front. That social recognition tricks your mind into feeling this sense of completion. And once you feel like you're done, well, the motivation, that fire you need to grind through the hard parts, it's just gone. The energy gets burned up in words, not actions. For Simon, hearing this was a total game changer. He realized he'd been so busy collecting praise that he'd forgotten to collect actual achievements. So he decided to try something completely different. He picked a small, simple goal he could actually finish: build one wooden chair. But here was the most important part. He made a new rule for himself. He would tell absolutely no one. No big announcements, no looking for applause. He was just gonna start working. So that's what he did. He found a quiet corner and just worked on it every evening. Some days were good, some were super frustrating. But here's the thing. Without the pressure of everyone watching, he just kept going. He made mistakes, he learned, and slowly but surely, that chair started to take shape. And when the chair was finally done, Simon sat on it, and the feeling he had was completely different from anything he'd ever felt before. This wasn't that cheap, fleeting pride from hearing people clap. This was deep. It was real. And it came from his own two hands. It was pride born from doing, not from talking. Eventually, a neighbor saw the chair and was really impressed. And then word started to spread, slowly. Not because Simon was shouting about it, but because the work itself was good. Over the years, he became a really respected craftsman, known for what he built, not for what he was planning to build. His actions finally did all the talking for him.
So Simon's story isn't really about building chairs, is it? It's a lesson for any of us who have a dream. It's asking us to really rethink that impulse we have to share our plans the second we think of them.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, first, that feeling of premature completion is a serious motivation killer. That early praise we crave can actually replace the drive we need to take action. And maybe our biggest dreams are a lot like those little seeds. They're fragile. They need to be protected in silence to grow strong roots before they're ever ready for the spotlight.
And that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. The next time you have a big idea, one that really, truly matters to you, what if you just held it close? What if you protected it, you nurtured it with quiet work, and you let the finished product be the only announcement you ever need to make? What will you build in silence?